Hi there. I want to wish all my friends and family around the world a very happy Sabbath. You know, when we go to church on Sabbath, a lot of times I hear people talking about comparing themselves to other people, what other people are doing. But yet in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12, Paul makes it clear that those who compare themselves among themselves are not wise. And I know that's very true even in my golf game. I'll go out to the driving range and I'm hitting the ball any way but straight, any way except the way I'm supposed to. And then I'll look around and I'll see, well, everybody else has the same problem I have. And so I must really be an okay golfer. I must be a good golfer because I'm just as good as everybody else that's hitting the ball in every direction too. But yet I can't compare myself with everybody else to tell if I'm doing right or not. Each hole has a marker and it tells you what par is for that hole. Sometimes it's 3, meaning you should get it in the hole in 3 shots. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5. But I know I'm doing a good job or not by how I'm doing with everybody around me, but how my score compares with what is par for the course. That par sets the standard, not everybody around me. And that is so important in our lives as well as in our golf game. It's vitally important. I remember years ago going to a health seminar at a church, and a doctor was leading out in this. And one of the things she was saying was that most Americans are obese. The problem is, though, that most Americans look at each other and they're like, okay, I'm no more obese than that person, so I'm okay. I'm just like everybody else, not realizing everybody else is on the verge of a heart attack. And so that again is why it's so important in our health life, in our golf life, in our spiritual life. We can't compare ourselves to each other because everybody else around us is in the same, oftentimes, in the same boat we are and needs help just as much as we need help. In Psalm 119, verses 5 and 6, David talks about comparing his life to reflect the commandments of God. And in the NLT, in Psalm 119, 5 and 6, David says that I will not be ashamed when I reflect your decrees and when I compare my life to your commandments. Friends, we can't compare ourselves to other people. I can't compare my golf game to other people's golf games because, and I know this sounds really terrible, but they might be just as bad at golfers as I am. And so golfing like everybody else isn't really going to make me good. I know I'm good when I compare my game to what is par for that fairway. And likewise, in our spiritual life, we only know if we're on the right track, not by looking around comparing ourselves to others, but by doing what David did and compare our life to Christ's commandments. And of course, he gives us forgiveness and the grace to keep those commandments. Friends, as we go to church tomorrow, let's not be looking around at everybody else, comparing ourselves to everybody else, because they're in the same boat we are. We all need grace. We all need Jesus. Let's compare ourselves to the Word of God. That is the only true standard. God bless you. Have a wonderful Sabbath.